Just look at me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of Inside the CFL, your weekly updates of what's going on in the competitive fantasy league. I know you've been reading your news through the Thundering Express very happily for years past. Now, all you have to do is hit play and sit back and watch. As always, going to be with me, Charles and Thomas. Let's get right to it. We'll start with your defending champion, C-Train, who found himself a Week 1 matchup he just couldn't contain. His name, Joe T, nonetheless, a Turjanica. This year's squad looks a little bit better than his yard does, believe it or not. Why is that, you might ask? Thursday night, Aaron Rodgers, opening game against the Saints. The guy was unstoppable. Take a look at these highlights as if you didn't watch it for yourself. Well, maybe you didn't, Joe T. But nonetheless, between Aaron Rodgers and LaShawn McCoy, your team looks amazing this year. It's Week 1. To the highlights we go. Aaron Rodgers, quarter number 1. Greg Jennings, first drive of the game, touchdown number 1. Still in the first quarter, Rodgers finds Jordy Nelson, obviously sitting on the bench for Jocko. That's number 2. And still in the first quarter, Aaron Rodgers finds the rookie Cobb, does the rest of the work. That's 3 touchdowns, quarter number. That's pretty much all the highlights you need to see for Team Joe T. C-Train, think your biggest issue, who's your quarterback? You had that issue last year, and you were captured/saved by Mr. Michael Vick. This year, not so much. Des Bryant looked to be a promising player, but other than that, who knows about your squad? Then there was Mike Tolbert, who, imagine this, we get a live interview with. So Mike, how'd you feel about not being on the starting roster for C-Train Week 1?
I wasn't expecting it at first, but hey.
I understand you were in the starting lineup and then he pulled you out or something?
Kind of backed out.
Smart move, C-Train. 3 touchdowns later. Looks like a very bad idea. You still managed 95 points, but Tolbert in the lineup would have gave you a title. Let's move on. Bugman, the surprise of last year in the playoffs, continues to roll. Yeah, he's playing Jocko. But my man put up 108 points. Matthew Stafford looked pretty good. No one's laughing and not taking Peyton Manning now. We got it. We don't need that lecture. Cam Newton is the guy I'd like to talk about on your roster. You might have a quarterback controversy. Take a look at this highlight.
Standing in a 2-point stance on the third down. Here comes the blitz. Newton puts it up. He's got a man, and he completes it. Steve Smith is going all the way. Touchdown, Carolina. 77 yards.
Pretty impressive, I must admit. He threw for 400 yards in his first NFL game ever. If he could keep something like that up, combine that with the powers of Ray Rice, Bugman, you got a real squad. Hear that? No, that's not Cedric Benson getting arrested again. That's Team Jocko's players going to the hospital. All of them. His team's on the injured reserve. All of them. Not to mention the fact that your team sucks to begin with. But now they're all injured. Looks like another long year for the Jocko. You might as well change your name to the American Red Cross. Hey, just because you're a cripple doesn't mean your entire team has to be.
Because it's garbage!
It is garbage, and so are you, Jocko. Let's move on. Bazooka. Big boy. Bazooka, you were nowhere to be found last year. In the stat book or at CFL headquarters. This year you start off, not so bad. You get the win. That's only because Big Boy only scored 49 points, but who's to argue that? Cedric Benson, who was not in your lineup, who you love, had a pretty good day against the Browns. Let's not overdo it. I'm not going to get into this argument with you again. I hope you play him all year long because you're in my division. Thankfully, so are you, Big Boy. 49 points when you got 23 from Vic and 15 from Jones-Drew. How the hell did you only... Oh, yeah. Played the Steelers D. Minus 6 points. I know, you're a Steeler fan, so it hurts enough. I'm not going to rub it in. However, felt good. Felt great. 49 points, we'll get through. This was the most boring game of the week. Both of you make me sick. And now, a quick word from one of our sponsors.
Have fun, y'all.
I remember when rock was young. Me and Susie had so much fun.
You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby.
Welcome back, CFL Maniacs. Let's move on to game number 4 of the week. Bug Boy, Rhino. They sat next to each other on the couch during the draft, giggled like little schoolgirls. And yes, Rhino, we seemed to laugh at you in the draft, and we're still laughing. Bug Boy, Drew Brees, welcome to having a quarterback in the CFL and what that can do to you. You look like a stud. Let's take a look at these highlights.
Targets all year long for Aaron Rodgers.
He gets a Lambeau leap. Drew Brees' turn now, except Drew Brees is in trouble. Clay Matthews hit him, but he found time to hit Darren Sproles with a huge game. That one's a 36-yarder. And then 3 plays later on a 3rd and 1, Brees to Robert Meacham for the touchdown.
Yeah, nice play action pass now. No safeties around. And
it wasn't just Drew Brees getting the action. How about Tim Hightower? You told us he was going to be a stud. Who's to think he would have more points in week 1 than he had all of last year and the year before that? He scored 90 points, defeating Rhino 90-55, and you didn't even have Wes Welker in the lineup. For the love of God, get him in your lineup or trade him to me, one or the other. I'll take him, please. Rhino, as for you, your squad between Steve Smith, who wasn't in your lineup and actually did good with Cam Newton, Michael Turner, who's just waiting to break a leg, Steve Jackson, who basically did break a leg, Plaxico Burress, D'Angelo Williams. Your team is older than Jocko. That can be an issue. It's an issue right now. It's going to be an issue next week. It's going to be an issue all year. Good luck to you. Moving on, game number 5, Tree up against the Nets. Tree, you were voted the worst draft of the year by a unanimous decision of everybody. You quite possibly had the worst draft ever. However, Nets, you didn't bring your A game in this one. Tree actually got the win, 74-67. Sebastian Janikowski kicked a 63-yard field goal late Monday night to give Tree the win. He goes to 1-0. Enjoy it. You might not get another win all year. You got Phillip Rivers and Arian Foster. However, if Foster is nothing like he was last year, you're in deep trouble. Sonnet, you got quarterback issues, Big Ben, Freeman. I don't know where you're going to go. You should ride Peterson, Deshaun Jackson all year long. Keep training hard for that marathon.
Team win all the way.
This brings us to the 6th and final game of the week. Little Joe facing up against me, the Thundering Turd. Now, Little Joe, you probably thought you had me beat until Monday night rolled around, and Tom Brady was faced with a 33-point deficit. And then...
and that right there. And that's a head-scratcher from that close, from a half-yard out.
Low percentage throw as well, Mike. And Henny's got to give his receiver a chance.
There's Brady out of the gun from the half-yard line. Why not? To Wes Welker. Wes Welker pulling away, and he ties an NFL record with a 99-yard touchdown.
Oh, my. How many guys throw it out of their end zone in an empty backfield?
As Don Meredith said when Tony Dorsett did it, 99 yards and a half.
And that was.
Oh, yes, he did. 34 points. Turd gets the win. Back after these messages.
They're the worst team in college football. The quarterback's too old.
I hope he gets younger as he gets closer.
The tackle's too hip.
Hey, little doggy, you about to get fixed.
And the center's got a crush on the kicker. But if you can win with your mouth, the Armadillos will be national champs.
I've been waiting for you.
You should be waiting for the guy to cut your hair.
Necessary Roughness. Rated PG-13.
To conclude each week, I'd like to give you something I like to call the video of the week.
Trying to get our 2 boys ready to carry them to golf tournament before practice, right? 12 cats live across the road. Our door's open. Screen's broke. We need to get a new screen door, but the screen's broke, so you can come in through the screen, but you can't get back out of it. I turn and look. There's a little kitty cat in our kitchen. So I said, what are you doing in here, little kitty cat? By that time, the cat turns, tries to get back out. That screen won't go that way. Cat starts going, meow, all crazy. And I told our players, we need more dogs. Bo's barking in the back. I have to go shut Bo up. Mel's like, what's going on? I said, there's a cat in the house. Cat in the house? I said, yeah, there's a cat in the house. So I told our players, I tried to let it out the front door. Meow, meow, the cat's still going crazy in there. And I told our players, you need to be more like a dog. We don't need a bunch of cats in here looking in the mirror. Do I look good? I got my extra bands on. I got my other shoes on. Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
What the hell can you say after that? That's all I got. I'll see you next week. Enjoy yourself, CFL.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network. Go.com.